Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am here with yet another book haul. I will be honest, I have been very good personally with buying books. I haven't really bought that many. I've stuck to my subscription services. I've bought a couple sequels to books just because I read them, enjoyed them, and wanted to continue in the series. But most of this was gifted to me, which is genuinely exciting. Most of it, I will say, was gifted by my husband, which is so kind. Mother's Day, and he's just, I don't know, man. I've been feeling loved recently. So I do think I have almost exactly the same amount that I had in the last book haul, which is kind of crazy. Let's do a quick count actually. I have 44. I'm one short, and I will not be waiting until I get that one more to do a haul. I have quite a haul to share with you guys. Again, like always, we're gonna go by genre. The most I have is horror, so we'll save that till the end. So I guess we'll do least to most, which is kind of fun. Least stack is 4, and it's a three-way tie between romance, mystery, YA, and literary fiction. So we'll start with romance. First, I have Funny Story by Emily Henry. Yes, this is the paperback, and I finally have it. All of my Emily Henry books are in paperback, so I always have to wait a full year to purchase her newest book because I have to kind of keep it consistent. So I have been waiting for Funny Story. I pre-ordered the paperback. It finally came. A lot of people have talked about how this is their favorite Emily Henry, and I am so excited. I want another favorite. I have People We Meet on Vacation is my personal favorite, but I want to love this one so much. So I have Funny Story. Next, from Ali Hazelwood. Now, I've only ever read one Ali Hazelwood book. I have one on my TBR. I have Love on the Brain on my TBR, and I've read Bride, which is probably so odd for all the Ali Hazelwood books to read, to have only read Bride. Crazy. I saw this book at Target, and I showed the sprayed edges to my husband. He says, "Why don't you grab that?" That's all I needed to hear. This is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood, not even the newest. I feel like she's pumping books out. Her newest romance, I think, comes out in like a month or so. This is the one about two divers. I've heard it's a little smutty, and I'm very excited for it because I enjoy the banter and the writing. I mean, Bride was so good, and so I'm going to also love Deep End because it's really pretty. This is a sequel that I purchased because I read the first book and loved it, and that is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I read Flawless. I know I'm years too late, it feels like, at this point, but I loved it. I wanted to continue. I love these covers. I think they're so pretty, and I think they look, this is behind me right here, I think they look so good on the shelf. So I'm excited to continue with my little cowboy romance, and this one follows Cade, which is Rhett's older brother, and I'm excited. Cade and Willa. Willa is Summer's best friend. I love that. The last romance that I have, oh boy, am I excited for this one. It is a Book of the Month book. If you're not subscribed to Book of the Month, I do highly recommend it. Not only does Book of the Month give you a good selection each month with 5 or 6 different picks that are really great to choose from, but their add-on selections are so good. This was an add-on. I'll leave my referral link down below. If you decide to use it, you get your first hardcover for $5. I get a free book. I would appreciate that. I got Sky Daddy by Kate Folk. I'm so excited to read this one because it's just not what you think, you know. And also, oh my god, the text is so huge in this. Thank goodness. I think this book is gonna be a good one. So in this book, we're following Linda, and Linda wants to fuck a plane. She likes planes. She likes Boeings. She wants to die in a plane. She thinks that that's how she's gonna be with the plane forever. And honestly, go Linda. I want to read this. I want to know what's up. And I love this cover. And I just love the fact that, like, when you look at it, you're like, oh, this is like a smutty pilot book. No, babe. Okay, next I'll do this like kind of stack of random-ish books. Up first, we have Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I have not read, this is the last book. I reread the Hunger Games trilogy. I just recently read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes for the first time. I do really like that book. I know a lot of people don't. I just think the lore is so interesting. I'm ready to read Sunrise on the Reaping. I will be reading this in June, and I cannot freaking wait. Hey Mitch's Story. I need at least 10 more books from Suzanne Collins about the Hunger Games. At least 10. I'm very happy to have this one. Next, another sequel that I purchased because I read the first one, really enjoyed it. This is The Vanishing Stair by Maureen Johnson. This is the second in the Truly Devious, I want to say trilogy, but I think it has 4 books now. That mystery was so good. It's a YA mystery. I enjoyed it so much. It ended on a cliffhanger, so I immediately had to grab The Vanishing Stair. I don't know when I'm gonna get to this book, but I need to know what happens. Next, I found this book for $5 and I was so excited. It is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I feel like because I really liked Truly Devious, I think I'm gonna like this one as well, although they probably are very different. But this is a YA thriller mystery series. I read the Inheritance Games trilogy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes and I loved her writing. I really enjoyed that series, and this one does say that it's like Criminal Minds but with teens. I love Criminal Minds, so I think I'm gonna really enjoy this one. And like a good YA thriller, sometimes it just really hits, you know, and I want to love this series. And then last for my kind of like, I guess, cozy, this is the only cozy mystery, is again a sequel. This is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jessie Q. Santanto. I read Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, maybe? And this is the second one. It's a cozy mystery. I love following Vera. She's just this old woman that just like is nosy and gets in everybody's business, and I love her and I need to know what happens in this one. Lastly, we have my kind of like literary fiction, just like mishmash section. Another book of the month pick. This was actually my free book of the month, book of the year pick, and that is The Wedding People by Alison Espach. Out of the book of the year finalists, I had 2 or 3 of them, so I was like, I'll just grab The Wedding People because it's technically a free book, which is another great reason to sign up for book of the month. And I've actually heard a lot of really good things about this. I do believe this was also a part of the 2024 Goodreads books in fiction like finalists, so I'm sure it's incredible. I would like to read it. Oh, I put a bookmark in it. Leave me in here. Wow, I left you in there, sorry. I'm glad to have it and I will get to it eventually. Ooh, this next book was gifted to me, and it was gifted to me right after I finished The Nightingale, which like put me in such a good Kristen Hanna historical fiction mood. It is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I loved The Nightingale so much. I think she writes perfect historical fiction after only reading one of her books. They are long, but they are so good, and I'm excited to read this one. Again, it's such a long book that I always like pick it up and I'm very intimidated, but I tend to really love the long ones. This says Alaska 1974. It's about a family essentially living in Alaska, and you know what, that's all I need to know because Kristen Hanna writes incredible books. Great Alone I heard is amazing. I'm glad to have this and I'm glad to have been gifted it. Ooh, another book of the month pick that I was so excited to get, Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I have been hearing so many incredible things about this book. I want to read this so sooner rather than later. I like don't want to put this one off because I have a feeling I'm going to love this book. I was so excited when I got my book of the month. My box with this book in it also had Sky Daddy and I think another book that I'm gonna show you in the thriller section, and it was just such a good box. I was so excited, so I'm so ready for this. And then last, I had this one in kind of like my random pile, but I feel like this probably could have potentially been put in fantasy. I don't really know. I'm gonna be super honest with you guys. I put books on my wish list after hearing the synopsis and hearing a couple people review it and be like, I loved it. I read the synopsis. I think it sounds amazing. I add it to my wish list. I usually purchase it, get gifted it, whatever. And then I don't read the synopsis again until honestly, probably once I finish the book, because I just like to forget. I like to just forget everything and really immerse myself. So if I sound really dumb in some of these explanations, it's on purpose. I have V.E. Schwab's The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I have never read a V.E. Schwab. I've heard incredible things about this book as well. I've heard it's really heart-wrenching. This is one of the ones that has been on my wish list since the beginning, and I again want to get to this one really quickly. I feel like this is historical magical fantasy realism. I've heard so many good things about this book. Like, people even have necklaces of like this because they're so obsessed with this book. If people are making things on Etsy because of a book, I feel like I'm gonna love it. So there's that. Smallest stack is thrillers, which I'm very excited about. The first is an Aardvark book. So Aardvark is the other subscription that I get monthly. I like both Book of the Month and Aardvark for very different reasons. I like Aardvark because they have a lot of the more like wilder picks, horror, thriller, like spookier books that I tend to love, and I get so excited. So this is an Aardvark book, and I also, one more side note about Aardvark, you can't tell this is from Aardvark, can you? No, there is an Aardvark on it, but nothing really shows it otherwise. Kind of love that. But anyway, this is You Are Fatally Invited by Andy Plagio. Plego. It's a thriller. I think it's about a writing retreat, potentially, or am I just making that up? I'm not making it up. An exclusive thriller writer's retreat hosted on a private island turns lethal when one of the authors is found murdered in this twisty, locked room mystery. I haven't read a thriller in a really long time, and I'm itching to, because I feel like reading the thriller really puts me back in the reading mood. This might be one of the ones I grab. A book of the month pick that I had, this was book of the month for March. This is Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. I picked this one because it was the thriller pick for the month, and since I picked it in March, I've seen so many people talk about how good it is, and I also am like 60% sure it's getting made into a movie or TV show right now with Jennifer Lawrence. I love Jennifer Lawrence, so I want to get to this one soon as well. Now, this book I'm excited about only because I found it in my neighborhood's little free library. My neighborhood's little free library is never good. I feel like it's only good when I add books to it, but that's probably me just being biased. Usually I go in there and it is a hodgepodge. I found One by One by Frida McFadden. I was really excited. I'm not Frida's biggest fan. I think the Housemaid series was so good. I think Never Lie was really good. I've been very meh since, but you know what? I'm willing to give her a shot because they are popcorn thrillers. They're good picks to read when you are in between like a long fantasy or a book that took you 8 years to read. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna read something quick. Frida is that girl. So I mean, I found it in the little free library. I was stoked. Oh, another aardvark pick. I was so excited to see this one because I've heard so many incredible early things about this. That is Julie Chan is Dead. This is by Lian Zhang. So sorry. I've heard it's compared to Yellowface. I've heard it's compared to so many different things. But I know Julie, and she has a twin sister. They got like separated at birth or adopted by different people. And Julie lives a very like shit life. And her sister is like a really popular influencer, and her sister dies. And Julie is at the crime scene. The cop's like, oh, is that your, essentially not your broke sister, but like the broke sister? And she's like, oh yes, of course it is. She takes over her sister's life. I want to read that. And I've heard it's really, really good. So I'm excited for that. I don't know if this could be considered horror or thriller, but this was that other book that I got in my nice really big book of the month box that I was excited about, and I'm excited about this one. This is the new Alex North. This is The Man Made of Smoke. It's tight in here, but I read The Shadows by Alex North, and I have The Whisper Man, which I think you're supposed to read The Whisper Man first, but I have that on my TBR. I really liked The Shadows. I thought it was really good. I saw he came out with another book. I got excited, and I'm going to read this, and it's short thriller-ish too, which I love. So I honestly don't even know what this one is really about. It says it's the latest gripping serial killer thriller. Works for me. I like Alex North. I'm happy to have this. And then the last in my little thriller section, this is a book I've had on my wish list for years too, so I'm just so excited. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. Ashley Winstead has quite a few books out that I've been wanting to read, but this is the first one that I had on my wish list, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to read it. I think it's a thriller slash horror. Let me know your thoughts. Second to last stack is fantasy, which is kind of shocking. Like, I love fantasy, but I don't normally buy it a ton, so it's kind of exciting to have. And at first, it's a book I was gifted, and I'm very excited. It's Quicksilver. Oh, is there something in here? Oh, a cute little bookmark. This is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. First of all, I love that it's the indie published cover, because you know they're gonna come out with a new cover in like a year, and it's gonna be probably really pretty, but like this is just so indie cover coded. I've heard nothing but great things about Quicksilver. It's the latest in the fantasy romantasy, if you will, and I'm excited. I don't know when I'll get to it. Again, with all these books, I don't know when I'll get to them, but I'm happy to have them. I do feel like some of the books that I have in the fantasy section probably aren't necessarily fantasy, but because they have fantastical elements to them potentially, although I don't know if this one does, I just put it in here. Just take everything I say as far as genre with a grain of salt. Book I've been wanting to read for a really long time. After watching Sid Bookworm's channel, I have decided to finally grab it, and it is I Who Have Never Known Men. Actually, I lied, my husband bought this one for me, by Jacqueline Hartman. I love this cover, and it's a shorter book, but it's basically about these group of women that live underground, and that's all I know, and that's all I want to know. I don't even want to read anymore. I heard it's incredible, and that's all I've heard from everyone, so I have it, because I would also like to know why it's incredible. Oh, we're sitting here with a pre-order. This one I pre-ordered because Maybe I'm crazy. It's the newest S.A. Barnes, Cold Eternity. I read Dead Silence by S.A. Barnes 2 years ago and haven't shut up about it since. I loved it. I then didn't pre-order, I got this one from Aardvark, Ghost Station, which was S.A. Barnes' newest release. Hated this. Why? I did not love this. This, incredible. This, read. This, pass. It's awful. Then naturally I was like, oh, S.A. Barnes is coming out with another book, let's pre-order it. So here's Cold Eternity. These are sci-fi thriller horrors. You know, I think this might be my last chance for S.A. Barnes. If this one's not good, I probably won't pre-order the next one until I see reviews, but this one's shorter than Ghost Station. It's giving me Dead Silence vibes. I really hope it's good. Next, another book that I see everyone talk about, and I want to know why. I want to know what the hype is. This is How You Lose the Time War. This is by Max Gladstone. This is so much shorter. This and I, Who Have Never Known Men, are so much shorter than I anticipated. I always expect them to be much longer. Love this cover. Don't even know what it's about, but the amount that people talk about it, I want to read it. And it's so short. It is, I don't know, actually, that's a lie. It's like less than 200 pages. I just need to know. I will tell you when I know. Again, some of these in the fantasy category, I don't know. This I found at a half price books. I was really excited because I had planned on buying the box set. So I reread the Hunger Games trilogy. I'm doing the Hunger Games. I'm reading them once a month. And I've been loving it so much that I'm like, you know what? I should be reading the books that came out when I was a teenager because clearly they're good. So I've never read the Maze Runner series. So I found this at half price. It's the Maze Runner by James Dashner. I want to read it. I've seen the Maze Runner movie. I only think I saw the first one, and it's a YA, a dystopian. I want to read it. I want to know if I love it because I just love Hunger Games so much. This was another book that was in my Incredible Book of the Month box that I just got recently. I think I got 4 books and I was so excited about all of them. I am so excited for this book. It is Gifted and Talented by Olivia Blake. I read the synopsis for this and instantly said, oh yes. And I've heard so many good things about Olivia Blake. I needed to have this. This is such a big book, but I need to read it. It reminds me of Succession, but with fantastical elements. And I think that's all I'll say. If you've read it, let me know if you love it because I love this and I want to read it so soon. So I have a couple of books that have been on my wish list for forever and I was so excited to finally purchase them. They were on sale. Again, they've been on my wish list for forever. I don't even remember the synopsis, but the first one I have is, these are all, I think these two are the first in a series. This is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. It's a fantasy. I think it might be a YA fantasy. It just says a witch and a witch hunter trust into holy matrimony. There was only one way such a story could end, a stake and a match. So it says, yeah, it says Harper Teen. It's YA. I've had this on my wish list forever. I would like to read it. Same with The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This is a series I've been wanting to read forever and just haven't. Again, I think this is also, yeah, I think this also might be YA, but I could be wrong. It might be adult fantasy. I'm not 100% on that one, but yeah. These are two fantasies that I've been wanting to read for a while. And then last, for my fantasy category, this is a book that I got like 3 days ago and I want to read it right now. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, as soon as I finish the book I'm currently reading, I'm like, do I read it? Because like I read the synopsis. I told my husband recently he should read the synopsis. I think he would like it. And then he read it 4 days ago. I read it again and was like, wait a second, I actually really want this book. So, and it was on sale, which is always exciting. Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. This is a series. I think, let me know if I'm wrong. They're coming out with all of these in new covers because the covers on Goodreads are not these covers, but there's like 8 books out. So this is the first one I've seen with this cover. Let me know the situation on the covers. I'm interested. I think this sounds so good. It says the apocalypse will be televised. Welcome to the first book in the wildly popular and addictive Dungeon Crawler Carl series. Now with bonus material exclusive to this print edition. There you go. I am gonna read this to you really quickly because I think this sounds so interesting. You know what's worse than breaking up with your girlfriend? Being stuck with her prize-winning show cat. And you know what's worse than that? An alien invasion, the destruction of all man-made structures on Earth, and the systematic exploitation of all the survivors for a sadistic intergalactic game show. That's what. Join Coast Guard vet Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, Love her. As they try to survive the end of the world or just get to the next level in a video game-like trap-filled fantasy dungeon. A dungeon that's actually the set of a reality television show with countless viewers across the galaxy, exploding goblins, magical potions, deadly drug-dealing llamas. This ain't your ordinary game show. I want to read this right now. Like, I don't want to read anything that I'm reading. I want to read this. Yeah, I need to read more. This just sounds amazing. And lastly, I have my big old pile. I'm gonna try and pick it up, of horror, which arguably is my favorite genre, okay? I love horror. Let's go over what I have. A lot of these I got from Half Price Books. I personally love my Half Price books, okay? Every time I go to the horror section is, for example, let's say like 1, 2, 3 of these. Not big, quite small. I always find like 4 books in it. It's so good. It's such a good section. I love my Half Price books. First we have The Spite House by Johnny Compton. This has been on my wish list for years. I saw it at Half Price. I was so excited. I think this is going to be a haunted house. I think it's going to remind me of Just Like Home by Sarah Gailey. Maybe a little spookier. I love haunted house stories. Excited for this one. This one I was gifted and I am so excited. Also, I love this cover. I know a lot of people hate it. It's fine. Mayfly by CJ Lead. This is about, it says by day, Mayfly works at the happiest place in the world as everyone's favorite ice princess. Okay, so she's Elsa, and at night she's a serial killer, and I think she might be a cannibal. I'm really interested in this one. Oh my gosh, out of all these books, I've read this one, which is exciting. I probably should have started with this one. I got this from Half Price. I was so excited. As I was checking out, the cashier was like, that one is really good. It made me want to read it really quickly. It's I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. I did a review, I don't know which wrap up. I liked it while I was reading it, but the end really solidified it for me, made me almost want to reread it. It is very spooky, very creepy. It's essentially the entire night of this woman and her boyfriend going to visit her boyfriend's parents, and it's just them in the car, them at the house, them coming home. And she's thinking of ending things the whole time. It's really interesting. Oh, I saw this one at Half Price. I was so excited. It's Bird Box by Josh Malerman. I watched the movie. I loved the movie. I would also now like to read the book. So when I saw this at Half Price, I got really excited and picked it up. And I have 2 aardvark picks here. I'm excited for both of these because this one I've been like anticipating. It's Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker. It's quoted by Ling Ling Huang, Grady Hendrix, Eric LaRocca, Nick Cutter. I'm excited for this one. A wildly original, darkly humorous, and subversive horror novel for fans of The Only Good Indians and The Eyes of the Best Part, which I just got The Eyes of the Best Part a couple months ago, so I'm excited. Another aardvark pick that I'm genuinely excited about. I just love these covers. They're so beautiful. This is Blood on Her Tongue by Joanna Van Veen. I'm pretty sure this is about 2 sisters in the Netherlands in 1887. One sister is super unwell. I think she's probably turning into a vampire, and Lucy's trying to hide that from the town. So, historical fiction horror? Historical horror. Love. I was so excited to see this at Half Price. I could have screamed. This is Jan. If you don't follow Jan, you should. One of her favorite books of all time. I saw it at Half Price. I was like, oh my god, I need to have this. It's also been on my wish list forever. It's S.T. Gibson's A Dowry of Blood, another vampire novel. I need to read it. It's short and it looks like it reads really quickly, and the pages have like a weird feel to them, like an old-timey feel. Or maybe the book's just old, but I'm very happy to have that. Oh my gosh, I was so excited to see this at Half Price too, because I read From Below by Darcy Coates 2 months ago, and it's one of my top favorites of the year so far, and so I wanted to read more from Darcy Coates, and I found Dead of Winter, and this is like brand new, like the spine isn't even cracked, which is so exciting. It's about this woman who joins a tour group going into the Rocky Mountains, which I love. I don't love the Rocky Mountains. I like the Appalachian Mountains, because those are creepy. But yeah, there's a snowstorm. They're all stuck in a cabin. People start dying. I think it's gonna be fun. This new release I saw at Half Price. My husband grabbed it for me, and I just love the cover, and it just looks amazing. It's Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Maria Griffin. Beautiful. It's a story about desire, dreams, decay, and working retail at the end of the world. I love that. Oh god, doing this haul is making me want to read all of these like right now. Like, should I just read them all right now? Should I just sit here for the rest of the day and read them? Because I want to read this. This one's kind of a funny story. So I found this one at Half Price. It was When I first got back into reading, I searched horror novels on Amazon to see why Amazon. I wasn't even on Goodreads yet. And I saw this book. The title made me laugh. I added it to my wish list. I since took it off my wish list because I was like, oh, I finally looked at Goodreads reviews and I was like, okay, whatever. Saw it at half price and I was like, ha, the title made me laugh again. It was $3. I was like, oh, well, I'll get it. It's called Man Fuck This House by Brian Assman. A lot of the reviews say it's not as funny as the title. It is a haunted house story, but you know what? It's short and it looks like it reads quick. And you know what? I think it's funny. So I have it. My newest aardvark pick. I was so excited to get this. I got this one and Julie Chan is Dead at the same time. It is Nat Cassidy's newest book. It is When the Wolf Comes Home. Oh brother, I love Nat Cassidy. I read Nestlings. I really enjoyed it. Mary, An Awakening of Terror is on my 25 and 2025, so I will be reading that this year. Just love Nat Cassidy's writing. An imaginative, adrenaline-fueled wild ride through the babysitting job from hell brims with both horror and heart. Nat Cassidy returns with When the Wolf Comes Home, an unabashed, adrenaline-fueled pop horror thriller where the darkest fears can become reality. I love a funny like Rachel Harrison kind of slasher horror too, so I think I'm gonna like this one. This was on my wish list forever. I saw it at half price and was so excited. I saw it 2 different times at half price, didn't pick it up each time. The 3rd time I finally said, you know what, you're coming home with me. That is The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. I think this might be a zombie book. Potentially. It says, every morning Melanie waits in her cell to be collected for class. When they come for her, Sergeant Parks keeps his gun pointing at her. While 2 of his people strap her into the wheelchair, she thinks they don't like her. She jokes that she won't bite, but they don't laugh. And I think it's a series, and I'm pretty sure it's about zombies, but I'm not 100% on that one. I don't know, but I want to read it. It's been on my wish list for forever. Speaking of Rachel Harrison, I read Black Sheep last month, 2 months ago. Adored it. Need to read Rachel Harrison's entire backlist, and she has a new book coming out soon, so I went ahead and grabbed Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. Another werewolf book. Should I do a werewolf vlog? I did a vampire vlog last year. I don't know if I have enough, but I like Rachel Harrison's writing. It's witty, it's fun, it's campy horror. One of my favorites. Oh, I was so excited to get this one. This one just came out. It's a new release. I saw it at half price, was very excited. I think the last 3 here I have from half price. The last one is not, but this is Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. I have Chuck Wendig's The Book of Accidents. I think it's down here. I haven't read it yet, but I just feel like I'm going to enjoy it. I love a long horror, and I love the theory. I don't know if this book really dives into that, but I do love the theory of if you see a staircase in the woods, it's really spooky and creepy. I think the X-Files did an episode on it, which X-Files is my favorite show of all time. So when this book was announced, I was so excited. I also saw this one at half price, and it was on an end cap with like 6 other ones, like the same book, and I was so excited for this one because I've heard so many things about it. It hasn't really, I'm not gonna lie, it hasn't necessarily been on my radar, but I was like, oh, it's here at half price. I see it with my eyeballs. Whoop, grab it. It is Natural Beauty by Ling Ling Huang. Ling Ling Huang just recently came out with another book that I'm interested in, but I'm gonna start with this one, see if I like it. It's again another short, quick horror. I think it's kind of in the sense of The Substance, potentially. Again, I could be making all of that up, but I'm gonna read it. It's there. The last one I got at half price. I know I keep talking about half price, like I should be an ambassador for them. Half price, let's do it. I saw this in the horror section. I got really excited. It's My Darling Dreadful Thing. This is by Johanna Van Veen. Oh, Johanna Van Veen! Blood on Her Tongue. I didn't even realize it was the same author. I think this might be a possession story, which I don't think I've read. Maybe. I'm not 100, but it might be a ghost. Maybe it's a ghost. I think it might be a ghost. I think it's a ghost story. I take it back. It's Ruse Beckman has a spirit companion only she can see. I'm gonna compare it to Paranorman. That's what I'm gonna do, but I want to read it because I like stuff like that. And then last, maybe I saved the best for last. I've talked about this book 100 times with my husband, and I always see it and I pass it because it looks intimidating. And one day it was just sitting on my computer because he is an angel. House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski. This is a horror. This is probably the horror. It's a chonker. It's heavy, and it reads weird. Some of the pages look like this. Some of the pages are just this. And you know what? I'm interested. I watched the House of Leaves movie, which I know is like probably not the best. And I liked it a lot. And I think this is going to kind of obviously be better and dive more into it, which is what I need. I know it's about a house, but I don't remember if the house is bigger on the outside than it is on the inside. Actually, yeah, I think it measures bigger on the outside than it measures on the inside. Or vice versa. But either way, I have House of Leaves now, which is crazy. And that, my friends, is my haul. I filled up 3 of my Calyx drawers. I always say I'll do a haul when I fill up maybe 1 or maybe 2. To fill up 3 is always just a pinch embarrassing, but you know what? I'm excited to put these all on my TBR. I'm going to get to most of these hopefully soon. Keep an eye out. If there's any that you think I need to read ASAP, please let me know, because there's quite a few that I want to read ASAP. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye guys.